Hi guys, in this video I'll be explaining how you can integrate routes or polylines like this with help of Mapbox Direction API. I'll also be explaining how you can make a feature where when a user taps on a button, he will be automatically zoomed into his own location. So this will be the part 5 of my series called Geoverse where I will be explaining geolocation concepts like this in React Native. So in my previous videos, I explained and did the same concept in Google and Apple Maps with help of Google's direction and places API. In this one, I will be using Mapbox's direction API as well as using the Mapbox React Native SDK. So to understand what I'm doing here, please watch my video where I integrated React Native Mapbox and then I use clustering of markers with the help of turf helpers, right? So if you search React Native Mapbox integration, you will be greeted with my particular video. And then in there, I would have explained how you can set up for both iOS and in Android. Okay. So it's a very in-depth and detailed guide. You can use that to integrate Mapbox because it's very difficult to at the you can't like simply install the library and then like use it. You have to first install the library, get the API key from Mapbox, and then from there you have to do all these configurations in Android and iOS, and then only you can see the map like this, right? So please look into this particular video and then come back to this. Now, for starters, you just have to install this particular library, right? Like RN Mapbox, and then use all those access tokens, etc. Right. So now what we are going to do is we have already integrated this particular feature in my previous video in Google Maps. So we are going to use Mapbox's API, right? So now to do that, what you have to do is I'm going to go to their own API where this is the direction API. So just go here, just search directions API in Mapbox. And if you scroll down, you can see Mapbox driving, Mapbox walking, and all these things. We will be using Mapbox driving because like we will be traveling intercity from Los Angeles to San Jose. Right. Now I'm going to go here. I'm going to use this one. So Mapbox direction V5 from like I'll be using the profile of driving. So automatic writing request using this profile accept 25 coordinates. We are just going to use driving. And then for the coordinates, we'll be using what? San Jose's coordinates and Los Angeles one. Okay. So for this, if you go here, we have used this particular API here. Okay, I will get into that later. So now we are going to use the profile of driving and then the coordinates. If I scroll down, you can look into all these things. Right. If I go here, so what I'm going to do is in this section, I'm going to use a button. Okay, I already used this button in my previous video where I tap, like I did the tap on what I would say, when you tap on that, it automatically zooms there. So I'm just going to get the code now. So I'm going to go here, use same way, search geolocation, right? This one. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to get this particular thing. So I'm going to go scroll to the bottom. And I think it's get location. Okay, I will scroll down.
Yeah.
Okay, so get current position info, right? So what I'm going to do is same way. I'm going to create a button like view style of position is to absolute, and then bottom of 20. That's it, right? Like a z index of z index of 100, and then background color is to white, and then border color is to blue, border width of 1. Okay, so padding of 10, and then in the text I'm going to use style of font family of normal, I think normal font. Start working. So I'm going to use Pangram regular, and then font size of 16. Okay, I'm going to I'll use zoom user location, actually zoom to, okay, for demo purposes. And then what I'm going to do is, so I have this here, so this bottom, and then for this to work I'm going to use left is to 20. Okay, let's use left is to 20. Okay, let's just use top of 30%. I think, okay, in the previous video I explained this. So let's go here, use insets equal to use safe area insets, and then insets dot top plus 10. Okay, and then the top, let's just simply use this, and then use style and justify content center, align item center to center these elements to the center of the screen, and then use border radius of 10. Okay, so if I do that, I think insets of top, okay, let's use 40 here. Okay, let's take this out. Sorry, let's take this out. Okay, let's keep it there, and then now what we can do is like let's 10. Okay, so when the user taps on that, we will zoom into that location, right? So for that, we will just keep it to pressable. Okay, so let's get this done, and then we'll move forward. So for that to work, we already have the map view and all these things here. We have the polylines, which I will explain later, the map box, user location, so that we can see where the user is at, right? So now what I'm going to do in this for React Native maps, it has a completely separate way where you animate into that location with the help of animate region. For this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach the center coordinate to a state like this, and then I'm just going to change the state. Okay, so how I am going to do that? I'm going to go here, use this get current position. I'm going to use get current position, and in the same way get current geolocation. So I'm going to go here, use it like center coordinate. So enter coordinate, and this should be an array format, and then the first one should be longitude and second one should be latitude. I make mistakes here, but I am now, I have done a lot of apps, so I know this works, right? So this should be longitude and latitude. So it should be info dot quads dot longitude and info dot quads dot latitude. And once that is done, what I can do, I can just like, this is not required anymore, and then I'm going to go here, go to the bottom, use on press, and this one. Okay, so let's see if this is working. So I'm going to tap on this. So the zoom level, okay, the zoom level is also important because I can see it's not zooming in. The same way, I'm going to use const zoom level, and then set zoom level equal to use state of 5, initial value of 5. I'm going to go here, and then in this section I'm just going to put this as 2 or 3. Okay, once I do that, I will go to this camera and then change it to zoom level as a state. Now if I tap on this, okay, it's going out, so I think I have to use 8. Okay, if I use 8 zoom level, you can see it automatically zooms into my own location. I'm still not satisfied, so I'm going to use 9. Okay, let's use 9, and then this one, still not satisfied, so I'm going to use 12. Okay, so if I do that, you can see I'm automatically moving into my user location or my own location in the emulate, right? So this is how you can implement this particular feature in Mapbox. But we are going to go one more. Okay, where when the user does that, we are going to draw the, like, what I would say, like from California or Los Angeles, we are going to draw the map routes from there to this particular location. That's why I made this. Okay, it will be more engaging. Now, how to do that? Okay, so as I said, this would be the API's first part, and then here Mapbox is until here. We'll be using the driving profile, and then as they are asking, we are going to use what? So I'm going to go to the top, this one, profile and coordinates. So the coordinates will be semicolon separated between 225, nothing like this is confusing, right? It's itself confusing. So what we have done here. So the start would be from San Jose. I think let's go to the top. Okay, so we'll just change this to. So this would be the start. Okay, from Los Angeles. Let's comment. Let's have it there. from this particular position in Los Angeles, we are going to from this particular Los Angeles position of latitude and like longitude and latitude. Okay, we are going to put that as first, and then the next one would be our location. Okay, so let's see how we can do that. So we are going to change, like we are going to, okay, in this fetch directions, let's go here and then use await fetch directions. Okay, so this should be in async and await. So async, okay, async, and then in this fetch direction, so here this should be start. So start where? Start from Los Angeles location. So I will just copy this and then I will simply supply it here. Okay, so the start. Okay, I'll scroll down and then and I. Okay, yeah. So what I'm going to do here is at the start location would be this Los Angeles coordinates, and then and then the end would be our own user's location, right? So let's take from in this particular thing, we are going to pass the LA location, and then we are simply going to take this and then we are going to pass it here. Okay, so once we do that, the polylines will be automatically rendered. So how it is rendered, I'm going to show it now. So we have passed the start and end, lat and long. Now this param, this is the most important part here. Okay, I took some time to understand this, so that's why I'm going to save you some time by doing this video, right? So I'm going to go here in the scroll down. You can see alternatives, we have done it as false. I think alternatives, we have done it as false. This is available and all these things are there. Okay, no alternate, it should be proper routes. If I scroll down, what is the next thing we used is the geometry. So geometry should be in GeoJSON. It should not be line string, all that. We will use as GeoJSON. Just we'll be using a line string. And then steps is to true. So I'm going to search steps. Whether to return steps and turn by turn. Yes, it should be true. Okay. So then it would be extremely easier for us to render it. The next one is the alternatives false and then the overview. So this was the one which was like difficult before. Displays the requested type of overview can be full or what is that is like what happens here is like if we don't give the overview of full, lot of coordinates will be missing and then our routes will not look nice. Okay, I will show you why. In React Native maps, Google provides each and every coordinate which is required to go from this location to the other. In Mapbox, there's a slight issue where they won't provide all the coordinates. So if we use this, that issue will be eradicated, right? Now, if we call this particular API with the API token that we have generated from the Mapbox's dashboard, where we will get the routes back. Okay, we are going to return that route. And then what we are going to do? So in the fetch directions, we are going to do one more thing. Okay, I will showcase how I got this curved routes here, right? I'm going to go here. So I'm going to get the values. So I'm going to get the values in this fashion. Okay. Now, if I use console.log and then result, let's use that. Let's go here. Let's tap on that. Let's go to this one. You can see I got so many things here, right? So, like if I scroll to the top, lots of things are there. It's very jarring, right? So I'm going to get the coordinates. So I'm going to get the coordinates. So I'm going to copy this and then I'm going to get just the coordinates. And then now comes the important part. I'm simply going to go here and then use this. So I'm going to get this one and then I'm going to use it here. What is this? So we are going to draw a polyline over the React Native Mapbox SDK. Okay, so in React Native Maps, we do the same thing where we draw a polyline, but in Mapbox we have to use it in this data format, right? It should be called as types to feature collection, and then features it should be a line string, and then we are simply going to add this here. Okay, and then we already used a state value where we will be setting this particular polyline data here. Okay, so once this is done, if we go down, I have already made this particular code where the shape shows would be a line, and then I'm going to pass the polyline data as the shape value here. From there, I'm going to draw all the lines. Then I'm going to provide the line color as hot pink. Okay. So if I do that, let's see what happens. So I'm going to go here, tap on this. Okay. So if I go to the top, you can see it is automatically working. It's already working.
Yeah.
Okay. So if I scroll, if I zoom in, it's automatically working. So it's already working. So from Los Angeles to my own user location, I got this. Okay. We can animate this and we can do whatever we want. Okay. So if I go to the app shots one, which I used in my previous video, you can see Strava uses Mapbox. So I'm going to tap on this. Okay. You see Strava uses Mapbox and then they run the same one. So let's take, I want to have a thick line like this with a line width of, let's take, I scroll down and then I will use orange and then let's take use, I will use 8. Okay. If I do that, you can see it's 2. Orange, it's not working. So I'm going to use this tool to get this particular, color code. Let's search it in Google because I can copy it here. Now I'm going to close this, go here, and then I think I can change it. So I'll use this. We got a Strava clone. Okay. So that's how even Strava does it. Let's use 5. You can see, right? If I scroll down, like if I zoom in, it already looks like how Strava does. Okay. This is how you can zoom into, like you can implement the zoom to user location as well as add the polyline data like this. Okay. So I think this is not required anymore in this one. I used it for testing. So then one more is this doesn't provide a nice, like the curve or the smoothness as you can see here. So what I can do is I'm going to use a library called turf. Okay. To smoothen the coordinate values and then implement it there. So what I'm going to do is you can use it. It's up to you, right? If you want more customizable or like it should look very nice, you can use this one. So I'm going to copy all of these things and then I'm going to comment all these things out. Okay. So I'm going to go here and then simply use it. Polyline data, I already have it here. So I'm going to take this out and then I'm going to comment it. So once I do that, once I tap on zoom to user location, you can see how it looks, how well it looks. Okay, if I zoom in, it looks exactly like how Strava does. As it. Okay, so let's say we want to get another location. Okay, Sacramento, right? We don't. Okay, so we want to get from Sacramento to our own location, right? So what we can do, Sacramento coordinates. Okay, let's do that. And then this is what this one. So let's copy this. Go here.
Just see that.
This should be in minus. So 128 and 38. This one. Let's do it. Let's save it here. So I'm going to change the zoom level to 6. Okay. So okay, wait a minute. I'm going to copy this. Okay. Save it here, right? So from Sacramento to my own location. So let's tap on zoom to user location. Okay, see? Right. From Sacramento, I got this. So this is how you can implement like directions with the help of polyline data in Mapbox with the help of Mapbox's own API. Okay. So this concludes this particular video. And then in the next video, I'll be implementing a custom address autocomplete where I will be doing the same thing in the Mapbox's React Native SDK. So this concludes this particular series on having the routes. This segment of the series where we'll be showcasing the how you can implement these routes between two particular points, etc. Right. So you can add the markers on top of this, like how I did in the previous video, etc. So let's if you like this video, do let me know in the comments.
Put